We're back here on the Yaffee program, News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM WVNN. If you missed any of the show live, just a reminder, the podcast is up on the website, WVNN.com, or anywhere you get your podcasts, or I guess you can ask Alexa, Siri, whoever. They'll play it as well. You can also find the Daily Controversy podcast, hosted by Christopher Reed. His show is on WVNN. You can find that as well. So WVNN.com info there, and his show's 8 to 10 p.m. right here on the station. Chris, any stories maybe we missed today?
Yeah, this is a little bit lighthearted, but it's interesting. This is from Fox. Stephanie Panon. Comedian defiant as Minnesota venue cancels 6 sold-out shows after he mocked Renee Good. And this comedian is actually really funny. I watched this bit. It was good.
Okay.
Minnesota Comedy Club abruptly canceled 6 sold-out shows by comedian Ben Baucus after a viral clip of his stand-up routine in which he mocked a woman who was shot and killed by immigration officers, Renee Good. Laugh Camp Comedy Club in St. Paul pulled the plug on Baucus' scheduled January 30th to February 1st performance over the jokes he made about 37-year-old Minneapolis mother Renee Good. Baucus replied bluntly to the cancellation. He told audience, "I just found out my shows are canceled." He said, "I'll just say screw them." He added, appears to refer to the venue, and he's basically going to get different ones. But this is, we don't really talk about this as much because cancellation's kind of not as big a deal as it was, say, under, Biden. But it really is, what is interesting is that, late night comedians and like Trevor Noah said, oh, Trump went to Epstein Island, all this stuff, which isn't true. Trump had no relationship with Epstein after like 2002 because he made some inappropriate comment about Ivanka, and he thought he was a dirtball. But this guy's not doing anything different than what Dave Chappelle did. When they've made fun of white people, he made fun of trans people. It was all like, I mean, it was offensive, but it was funny. And this guy, what he said about Renee Good was somewhat offensive, but it was really funny. He made some really good points, and he wasn't just telling jokes. He was kind of making fun of how narratives are created within the media. Like you hear about that she's this mom taking her kid to daycare, and you found out, oh, she's getting paid $70,000, $100,000 to do this, and she harassed ICE that entire morning, and she left the country because she's got severe TDS, and she didn't have custody of 2 of her kids, and what's that about? And it's just like, you know what? Everything he actually said, I mean, some of the joke stuff was offensive, but he really was reporting on real facts that a lot of people don't know. Like this person was a devout communist. She did lose custody of her 2 kids, or at least she didn't have custody. We don't know all the details there. And it was her female lover that told her to drive, baby, drive, which put her in a situation. And, he commented on the fact that the lesbian lover also didn't realize that federal agents have real bullets. She's like, why did you use real bullets? I'm like, what kind of bullets do you think we use? Like, we're going after, like,
it's not a game.
It's not a game. Yeah, these people are. So his comedy is actually really important. Just like Dave Chappelle's comedy was really important in the trans debate, because he was one of the first guys that was a mainstream media to kind of say, this is ridiculous. And they tried to cancel him on Netflix, and they didn't work because he had such great support just amongst the public, especially the black community, because they were going crazy. They're like, you're not canceling our guy. It's never going to happen. And Netflix had to back down, and they did. But this is key. Like, we need comedians to do this, especially if what they're doing is the truth. And by the way, if you watch comedy late night, it's all lies about Trump and all. It's nothing but ridiculous lies and slander about him. And you know what? They can do that. It's a free country. But at the same time, this guy should be able to tell jokes that are funny, and also he's using true facts to tell jokes, just like Dave Chappelle was using true facts to really explain the trans situation. And he was a big part that you got a lot of people that were more Democrat, lean, independent to say, yeah, this is ridiculous. Because once you mock something, once you laugh at something, it's really hard for the people that are creating the narrative that it's so wonderful to keep the narrative. And that's why, more than anything, they don't want a narrative that comes out that mocks their so-called martyrs. And so this is a big issue. He's going to get rebooked. And in America, because they canceled him, he's just going to get more popular. This is one of the best things that probably happened to him. And again, by doing this, they're only making his voice more powerful. Now, in England, it wouldn't be. They would have just locked him in jail. But in America, at least now, it's going to make him have a bigger platform. But what are your thoughts?
Well, first off, so it's the outlet that's doing it, right? Where he was supposed to have it that's canceling it. Who's actually
6 of them. Yeah, 6 outlets in Minnesota,
Oh,
St.
6 of them.
Paul. Yeah, they all
Wow.
canceled because he told a joke they didn't like. But like these same outlets have hosted people that have said most disgusting, vulgar, horrible things. And
Oh, yeah, I mean,
they
but
didn't cancel them.
Did they mention? Is that why they canceled it? Because of his comments?
Yeah,
Like sometimes
yeah.
they'll say it's a safety thing or something.
No,
like we
no, they
can't-
said it was because of the comments. They were very open. Yeah.
I mean, my main question in response to that is Jimmy Kimmel going to cry? Because you might remember, he said something pretty nasty, and ABC thought about getting rid of him, the affiliate, and we were all told it's an attack on free speech. He's crying on the air. Stephen Colbert is defending him. And then he's brought back. We're like, this is great for free speech. So I'm guessing that to be consistent, right? Jimmy Kimmel's going to come out and he's going to cry and he's going to say it's an attack on free speech. Comedy is important and the press is important or whatever. Is that going to happen, you think, Chris?
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I mean, but even in Alabama, we had Michael Rappaport. He's a funny comedian. He used to be super left-wing. Now he's a lot he realized the Democrat Party became highly anti-Israel, anti-Semitic, and he's very pro-Israel. He's a Jewish guy. And he got canceled at like a Birmingham comedy club, which is insane because this is Alabama, and people were very angry about it. But comedians generally, like, I get that sometimes what they do is they say like, oh well, because I'm a comedian, I can just tell defamation and lies. Well, you can't do that, but you can tell edgy jokes. You can mock. You can be sarcastic. You can have opinions that are vile and disgusting, but a country like if you look at historically what happens whenever they start going after the comedians and the clergy and the journalists and that kind of stuff, that's when you live in a tyrannical rule because under Stalin's rule, like the people that were telling like jokes at like Moscow clubs. He just got rid of those guys. Those guys were disappeared into gulags or murdered like almost immediately because he wasn't going to be mocked by anybody, and they got the message. I mean, and that's kind of how it was under Obama. You didn't hear any comedians saying anything about him.
I know.
Yeah, they didn't kill him, but I'm just saying, like, so we need, like, we're actually getting a lot more great comedy, great entertainment from the right, and I think that's really messing with the left because they controlled that forever. But because they went so ridiculously woke, now there's a huge opening. And so you get all these comedians that are more on our side. Like Greg Gutfeld, he has way better ratings than every single person that's on network news.
Well, and unfortunately, Stephen Colbert is an example, or Jimmy Kimmel. They're going after what's called the clapter instead of the laughter because it's like they want a virtue signal. And they don't really want, because, they're afraid to say anything because of the woke stuff. So they'll say things that virtue signal, and you get kind of this applause out of it. Like, oh, look how great he is. And it's like even comedians on the left want to get that more than actually laughs, actually say jokes. But of course, when they do say jokes, it's against people on the right. I mean, Stephen Colbert last week said ICE is worse. He basically said ICE are worse than Nazis. The ICE agents are worse than Nazis. If he can say that on national television and still have a job, even though I guess the show is going away. I mean, a comedian should be able to say some jokes and not have his venue shut it down everywhere in Minneapolis. I guess he's just not going to be able to do it in Minneapolis. He's going to have to go somewhere else. I'm sure there are places around the country he could go.
With the comedians, though, there should be one standard that's universal. It should be funny. Like, if you're going to make fun of Trump or make fun of, like, ICE, if it's not funny, then no, like you're right. It's the clapter. It's not, no one's laughing. They're just clapping. I'm like, if you want to give lectures, go to a left-wing private elite university. Okay. The problem I have is like this guy that got canceled was hilarious. Like his bit was great. His other bits are great, but they also like SNL. They got rid of Shane Gillis. He's one of the best comedians of our time because they said, no, he wasn't woke enough. We had to get rid of him. And now he's very wildly successful. And he's not even close to being right-wing. He's definitely not left-wing either. But to me, it just seems like they wanted to enforce this uniformity amongst comedy, and it opened up a huge lane for comedians that aren't like super woke. But yeah, you're right. Colbert can call ICE, like first of all, it's a lie. He's an idiot. But that's the reason he's going away. It's not because he called ICE Nazis. It's because he's not funny. He used to be funny. Even years ago, he's funny. But now, like he has 10-1 Democrat politicians to people in the entertainment industry. So it's like He made it a CNN show instead of a comedy show, and people don't want to do that. That's not. They could watch CNN at 10:30 if they wanted to. So I think this shows where we're going in the country. We got to be careful about this stuff.
And Jimmy Kimmel just cries.
like a little girl. Yeah, I hate it.
I'm like, this is comedy? Like, what? I thought it was supposed to be funny. It's just ridiculous. All right, Chris, appreciate you being on the show. He's got his show tonight, 8 to 10 p.m. and his podcast anywhere podcasts are available. If you missed this show, my podcast is up on the website, WVNN.com. I'll be back tomorrow at the same time. See you then.
It's the Yaffee program on WVNN.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like the just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkouts. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
Dan Bongino returns.
It's real. You better produce something fast.
And he's not holding back.
Dan, that's backwards. No, I'm telling you the truth.
Hard truths and a bold perspective no one else can offer.
You may not hear this anywhere else. I'm always under the assumption that you're being played, we're being played. Man, this show continues to expand its footprint, and I love you guys for it.
It's the comeback everyone's been waiting for.
If there was ever a time, it is this one.
The Dan Bongino Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Mic Drop.
You ready?
Let's do it. Hosted by former Navy SEAL Mike Ridland. It's unfiltered.
You know, when you go to the sound of the gun, bam, you're gone.
It's weird. I mean, I've had so many near-death experiences.
It's raw.
I love this country. I offered my life to serve this nation and protect its people.
The question, what's the meaning of life? And to me, it just boils down to one single word, which is purpose.
Mic Drop. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.